This is the BMW iX, okay, specifically xDrive50. The price, 547,000 ringgit. And to be honest, for me, I did not want to like this car. From the first time I saw it in pictures, I was like, ew, what is that? What happened to design language at BMW? What are they doing? And I gotta say, for now, after spending some time with it, some seat time with it, some few days with the car, I gotta tell you, this EV from BMW is the first fully realized full EV from BMW, and it's really, really good. Also proved wrong to me that you guys liked it as well, because they can't seem to sell enough of it. So like I said, when this car came out, right, I really didn't like it at all. I thought it was a bit too, I don't even know what to make of it. It's a big boulder with no real aerodynamic purpose. But despite that, they tell me that this car has a drag coefficient of 0.25, which is like 2 points better than McLaren's Speedtail. How is that possible? This car, design-wise, I'll touch upon that a little bit, okay? But just to give you some context, this is BMW's first ever, I think, fully realized EV. Because before this, the first fully electric thing that they had was the BMW i3. And this isn't derived from the usual models that they have, like the iX3 from the X3 or the iX1 from the X1. This is a fully new thing for BMW, and they thought, like, let's make something more radical. You can tell that from the outside. This is the sweet spot, the xDrive50. You get the same battery, 108 kilowatt hours, very long range, over like 610 kilometers on a single charge apparently. And it's a very nice cruising thing. You don't want to get the xDrive, sorry, the S-Drive, or is it xDrive 40? Because that has smaller wheels. You really need 22-inch wheels to really fill out the arches and look proper. Besides that, I've really resolved myself and made peace with the fact that this is a huge Boulder-like design from BMW. What I haven't gotten around is that oversized grille, because it's an EV. You don't need a grille. It can be as small as you like, but the fact that BMW added and felt like they had to have added a huge oversized nose tells me that BMW's design team really isn't as sorted out about this look as they should be, because this is just plastic. I'm pretty sure this is not supposed to be open. First of all, there's no bonnet release that's really obvious. It's like a little wire thing down by the driver's side, and you gotta pull one side on the driver's side and also the other one on the passenger side. Open both latches, and then the bonnet actually can open up. Anyway, let's just get this out of the way. It has dual electric motors, okay? So xDrive, dual motors, producing 523 horsepower. So a lot of horsepower and 765 Newton meters of torque. And that isn't as powerful as the M60 iX, okay? But it'll get this 2.4 ton thing to 100 kilometers per hour in like 4.6 seconds. That's 90s supercar fast. That's really, really fast. Of course, it's electric. So anyway, yeah, over here on charging, okay? So of course you have AC and DC charging. AC charging, 11 kilowatts will take you around 11 hours to complete. So yeah, get a good night's sleep to make sure you get fully charged after a long like road trip at like a near zero charge. DC charging up to 195 kilowatts, okay? So you find a charger that fast, you can get from 10% to 80% in about 35 minutes. So the boot of the iX, perfect example of why this car is a little bit more looks over substance, because the entire boot like opening, okay, the hatch itself goes around the entire width of the car. Very curvaceous and everything, it looks very nice. But when you open it up, you realize that not all of it translates into space. And the fact that the whole boot is full width means that for safety reasons, you gotta have a secondary set of tail lights, because if the boot is open and you're broken down beside the road, you want to have hazard lights on, and you can't have that if they're stuck up there. So this has to be here. More cost to BMW, more cost to you, for the sake of style. Anyway, the boot, okay, so this thing is 570 liters, which is nice, but it's not exactly huge. Other SUVs, other EV SUVs offer more space, and this is about the size of a normal BMW X5. You can't fold the seats down to reveal like 1,750 liters of space. At least the flat floor is very nice for IKEA furniture to move into. All I gotta do Press these down, they pull flat, and there you go, you can load up as much furniture as you want. If I wasn't sold on the exterior, I'm definitely sold on the interior of the iX because it is really nice. I can't really say another word that is more descriptive than really, really nice, because this is not at all typical BMW. It's not like driver oriented. It's very spacious, it's very minimal, but well thought out. The design might seem a little bit too much, like it's a little bit too different from BMWs of usual. Of course, this is an EV, so everything is flat. In front as well, it's a flat area over here, very spacious. The seats as well, like, look, you're used to having BMWs be sporty and having sort of like bucket-like seats and side bolstering. In this case, yes, there is bolstering, but it's so minimal that you feel like you're just in a lounge chair. The seats are very soft and perforated. There is almost no space in between the seat and the actual door panel over here. Very little room. Everything is just kind of filled up with cushion, and the way the dashboard is laid out, you think it's too minimal. I kind of think it might be a little bit too minimal. Everything's very fractal, like fractal design. There's a lot of angles happening in the seat pattern as well. This steering wheel, it's like a hexagon shape, 2 spokes, and it's kind of like, it's a weird shape, but I kind of gotten used to actually driving it. This, okay, this is a 12.3-inch cluster and a 14.9-inch digital central display. And it is usual in the sense that you get this kind of like curved design, you know, cluster infotainment thing going on with other BMWs, but in here it is a freestanding unit, very nice, and the OS is very intuitive, very smooth. It's in its frame, but its dashboard kind of cascades down. It's what MBUX from Mercedes-Benz should have been if they have only like stuck to it. BMW iX. If anything should be controversial, it's the exterior. If anything shouldn't be controversial, is the way it drives, because this is a BMW, so it should drive pretty well. The thing is, whenever you think of BMW, I think of a sportier car. I think the 3 Series is the sportier of all the, you know, the compact executive saloon cars. 5 Series, you go one tier higher, it is the sportier of the competitors. And the X3 and the X1 and the X5 and even the X7, I believe would be, you know, sportier, more enjoyable to drive as far as that can go. So the iX should be sporty, right? But it's not designed sporty, number one. It doesn't look sporty. The design is, in a word I would say, polarizing, right? The first thing everyone said was like, why did they make it look like that? Why does it look so ugly? And I admit, in pictures, yeah, it doesn't look great. If I'm looking at this car, let's say I have never seen it before, I saw it for the first time on the street. Isn't that good? Like, as long as I'm not completely repulsed in the flesh, doesn't that mean I like it? I think that's what happened to me, because I looked at it first and I thought, ew, and then I saw it a couple of more times in pictures and I thought like, okay, I think I know what I'm going for here. I think I know where this kind of fits in. You know, it's definitely not the normal car. Every other EV maker is sort of going for the same-ish thing in slightly different ways, you know? But not BMW. You can't argue that BMW is taking a very different, very novel approach to how cars are designed. And this is a perfect example of that. No other car in BMW's range is quite so divisive. Even the newer ones, like the i7, the i5, iX1, all of those were designed after this, but none of them are actually this controversial, except the XM. But that car is, I don't know what that car is. I can't really resolve why that grille is so big and exists the way it does. But the back, I quite like, even from the side. It doesn't look like it's a car on the move, but it looks like a substantial object. It sort of belongs in a cyberpunk world. It is futuristic, and the inside, I can't fault, because the interior experience is so nice. So nice. I mean, there's some things here and there that I can point to as, okay, that you chose that because of how it looks, of the potential wow factor, instead of, you know, how it works. Is this possibly the best material and the best way to do it, you know, and the best design, yada yada yada? Maybe not. But as an overall experience, the interior is just amazing. You know, it's just, I love it. How does it drive? So it's an EV, right? So inside here, it's very quiet. In fact, this is why I think BMW have gone like the complete opposite direction from what we expect. It has subverted my expectations. I'm throwing all that weight around, but it doesn't feel like that. All right, let me see what I can do with my modes. I'm gonna go into, is there a sport? There's a, this is what BMW is coming into, by the way. It has a mode called digital art. Sport! There you are, come on, come on, come on. Sport, active, let's go, right? Yeah, it's fast, it's really fast. Did I do 4.6? We need some timing gear. I might need to borrow some timing gear from somebody, but 4.6 seconds to 100. Yeah, I believe that. I mean, as a driver, I don't feel disconnected. You know, some EVs you feel disconnected. Some you don't. Like the Porsche Taycan, Audi e-tron GT. Yeah, those are sports cars. It happen to be EVs, right? But this is a comfy BMW. This is the BMW you buy. The BMW that you buy for your family, the all-purpose, statement-making flagship EV from BMW, but they haven't forgot how to make it handle. It does handle. Oh, it's pretty. It's amazing. This car. It's really good. It just soaks up the bumps. A to B, it's so fast. Oh. I'm just throwing it in corners. This is one. It just pulls out of corners too, like crazy. It feels like a video game. I need more bolstering. Wow. Okay. And then go into your modes, select efficient. And then, I don't know, I mean, the color changes around me. So, you know, it helps me calm down my nerves, calm down my adrenaline, my anxiety, my twitchiness. Okay. And then I can finally enjoy my really, really comfortable seats. And this beautiful interior. And when the sun goes down, my ambient lighting. Oh, I can also enjoy the view of the sky if I want and settle down in this beautiful car in this beautifully controversial iX. All right, so the final thoughts on the iX, okay? This hulking, huge BMW that has no right to be beautiful somehow is beautiful, and no right to be this good to drive and as comfortable and as rounded a package as it is actually as good as a package as BMW can actually make it. I was wrong about it at first because I thought I dismissed this car as a bit too try hard. But actually I was surprised in every respect by how BMW took all the things that we expect them to do and sort of turn it on their heads. We expect a very sleek machine from BMW and they gave us this big Boulder. We expect it to be a performance-oriented EV at first, but actually it is a much better cruiser, more comfortable and more minimalist style statement from BMW. And wrapped around that is a very well-resolved overall EV, one of the best. In fact, there is no surprise for me anymore why this is the most successful premium EV in Malaysia. If this thing weren't around, it'll be the game for the Tesla Model X. But the Model X isn't in Malaysia, so this is not only the next best thing, but maybe even better than the Model X. This is right now the default premium flagship German EV, SUV.